Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Gym Leader Challenge series where I play through Pokemon Fire Red as a gym leader and see how long it takes to finish the game. I won't be using items in battle, I'll be playing on set mode to make it slightly harder. I'll allow evolving Pokemon beyond the stages that the gym leader uses, so the early gym leaders aren't at such a disadvantage. And finally, I'll be playing at 4 times speed, and ranking the leaders based on real time spent completing the game. This episode will be playing as Misty.
Well, firstly, can I just say my name is not Misty, it's Misty!
Sorry, this episode will be playing as Misty, the water gym leader. My biggest issue with most gym leader teams is duplicate Pokemon. 2 starfish? They couldn't give Misty 2 different species? This game came out well after the TV show, so maybe a Starmie and a Psyduck could have been better. Oh well, this is the team we've been given. Staryu's stats are quite good. A speedy special attacker but with quite low HP. Access to early same type attack bonus water moves should make for a quick Brock time. Now on to Starmie. It's great. It's clear now why in most of my playthroughs as a kid, Misty always felt like the first real challenge. Starmie is definitely a step up from all the Pokemon we fought before Misty's gym. Like Staryu, Starmie is fast and deadly, and in my opinion combines 2 of the best types for Kanto. Water being super effective against 3 of the gyms, and Psychic being super effective against 2 of them. And with this incredible move pool, with 2 Starmies on our team, we should have some really good coverage by the end of the game. Alright, let's give this a go. I replace Squirtle with Staryu, who we name Ringo. And our rival chooses Bulbasaur. We'll have super effective Psychic against it by the end, but it should give us the hardest time in the early game. After defeating our rival Dehumidifier, we make our way to Brock. I'll just check the Pokédex to see how soon we can catch our second team member, and oh. Okay, let's give that another go. We can catch our second Staryu in Vermilion, but only with a Super Rod, which we can get after the Poke Flute. So for the first 3 gyms, this is going to be a solo challenge. We reach Brock at level 10, and our 4 times super effective Water Gun is enough to take out his Pokemon with ease. Off to our hometown of Cerulean now. We're level 17 when we face our rival, but I soon realise I'm too underleveled for this. Bulbasaur is doing massive damage with Vine Whip, and Ringo is just not doing enough in return. I'll defeat the trainers in the gym and battle some wild Pokemon and give this another go. I'm level 23 now and have learnt Recover. We take the Pidgeotto down in a few Water Guns, taking a Sand attack in the process. Next is Bulbasaur and we get some great luck. He wastes several turns missing Sleep Powders as we land tackle after tackle. He switches to Vine Whips towards the end, but it's too late, and we take him down. Next is the Abra, who only knows Teleport. We use Recover to get our HP back to full, ready for the Rattata, and then take the Abra down after a few misses. Finally the Rat comes out, but the heal wasn't necessary as we outspeed and one-shot it with Water Gun. We grab the SSN ticket, and then it's time to fight ourselves. The enemy Staryu goes down in a few swifts, but Starmie is a different story. We don't do much damage to it, and when we manage to get it low, it recovers. At the same time, whenever Starmie gets us low, we recover. I stick it out in the hope that Starmie makes a mistake, but unfortunately its superior stats get the better of us. Like with the Brock challenge, I decide Misty is too much for us right now and head to Vermilion for a relaxing cruise. It's not an enjoyable trip, however, as Dehumidifier pops out and challenges us to a fight to the death. I accept. We're a high level now as I'm being forced to do a solo run against my will, so Pidgeotto goes down in 1 Bubble Beam. Ivysaur comes out and Leech Seeds us, and then I get to do something I've never done before, using Rapid Spin for its actual purpose. I always assumed it was just a terrible signature move, but actually it can free the user from binding moves like Wrap, Fire Spin, and for some reason, Leech Seed. A Swift and Bubble Beam then finish the Ivysaur off. Raticate can't survive a Bubble Beam, and Kadabra can't survive a Swift. With a few extra levels, we decide to give Misty another go. Ringo takes down Staryu with a couple of Swifts and a Rapid Spin after Misty heals. Against Starmie, we spam Swift as the enemy Starfish desperately tries to recover. I switch into Bubble Beam and it seems to be doing slightly more damage despite it being resisted. Eventually, we overpower the Recovers and give ourselves the Cascade Badge. We can use Cut outside battle now, so let's head to Vermilion and try Surge. As you can imagine, being a mono water type doesn't fill me with confidence when we're about to face the electric gym leader. Surge leads with Voltorb and we take him down with 2 Swifts after taking a bit of damage from a Shockwave. Next is the defensively weak Pikachu who goes down to a single Swift. Finally it's Raichu who sets up double teams, ignoring the fact that the only move we've used this whole battle has been Swift. We get paralyzed, he gets healed, and eventually we're taken down with shockwaves. That was close though, so I think we can win this with better luck. After 7 attempts with no such luck, I level up a bit more and get this run. Voltorb goes down after hitting us with a sonic boom, Pikachu goes down in 1 swift, and Raichu is outspared and brought down with 2 swifts, not getting a chance to paralyze us this time. Now for the exciting bit. I love Thunderbolt, and the Staryu line can learn it, giving us some great coverage over flying and water types. Thank you, sir. Shockwave. Well, no electric moves just yet then, I suppose. We power through Rock Tunnel with Ringo having no problem dealing with the hikers inside. Once we're out, we run to Celadon and buy 2 Water Stones for when we want to evolve. And also, get ready for another move I love, Ice Beam, which is enough for a sure victory against Lance. I run up to the girl with an armful of drinks. Light screen? Okay, it must have been the soda pop. Safeguard. Lemonade? Reflect. Damn it, Gen 3! Oh, don't do it, Misty. We can still win this. We head on over to Saffron and get a TM that I'm sure still gets given to us for free in this generation, Psychic. Unfortunately, it's the only offensive Psychic move that Starmie learns by level up or TM, so this honour will only be for Ringo this run. With Psychic, we make short work of the ghosts in Lavender Down and get the Poker Flute, which gives us access to the Super Rod Fisherman, and finally we can head over to the Waters of Vermilion and fish for our final team member. We managed to catch a Staryu on our first attempt. The clock was ticking as I tried to decide on a nickname. My thought process was Starfish, Starman, David Bowie, Space Odyssey, Major Tom? Tom? It was only after when I realised that Ziggy might have been less of a stretch. Celebrating our now completed team, I use a crowbar on Ringo to remove his gem and replace it with a water stone. I think that's how the evolution works. With that, we now have an overleveled beast with Stab Psychic. Bring on Erica and Koga. Erica leads Victory Bell and we lead Tom, as we're switch training him to get some XP. We switch into Ringo, who tanks a Giga Drain and then one-shots the plant with a super effective Psychic. Next is Valplume, who also goes down to a single Psychic. We switch into Tom for Tangela, who immediately gets poisoned. A cool thing about these Starmies is they both have the ability Natural Cure, which means if they get switched out, they get cured of any status effects. We bring Ringo back out, curing Tom's poison, and the Tangela goes down in a few swifts, winning us the Rainbow Badge. We then speed down Cycling Road, avoiding most of the trainers, and at the end of the Safari Zone we get access to Surf, arguably our most powerful move, especially considering 2 of the gym leaders we have coming up. While we're at it, let's also get Tom evolved up. He may not have access to a psychic move, but the boost in stats should help out a lot. Time to steamroll the rest of this region. Koga sends out Coughing as we lead Tom. He does good damage with a Surf, but Coughing self-destructs and takes the underleveled Tom with him. Ringo is out. Not much to say. Our psychic powerhouse wrecks the remaining members of Koga's team. 1 psychic each. The Sylph co-rival is next. Dehumidifier leads Pidgeot, and Tom takes him down with a few Surfs, but Venusaur is next. A psychic move sure would be nice right about now. Tom does minimal damage with a Swift before being knocked out with a Razor Leaf. Ringo destroys the part Poison type with Psychic. 2 more for the Gyarados, a Surf for Growlithe, and another for Alakazam. Sabrina time. Tom takes out the Kadabra with 2 Surfs. Venomoth goes the same way. A few more Surfs are needed for the Mr. Mime as Sabrina heals him. Tom is finally taken down by Alakazam after taking Kadabra's Future Sight. But 2 Swifts from Ringo are all that's needed to take the Marsh Badge. After a slow start, Misty is bombing through the second half of the game, and I'm not sure the Fire Gym or the Earth Gym are going to slow her down. 4 Surfs from Ringo make short work of Blaine's fire Pokemon. Surprise, surprise. I wonder how many we'll need for Giovanni. Oh crap, we forgot to heal. Tom uses his last Surf to take out the first Rhyhorn, and then we're forced to switch into Ringo for the remainder of Giovanni's team. 1 Surf for Dugtrio, 1 Surf for Nidoqueen, 1 for Nidoking, and 1 for his final Rhyhorn. Before we go on to the pre-league rival fight, we have a few errands to run. As we don't have enough cash for both Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, I decide to grab the next best electric alternative. So it's off to the power plant to grab the TM for Thunder. Then off to Celadon, pawning our jewellery and crawling around on the floor picking up coins, and finally getting enough to buy the TM for Ice Beam. Then we teach Rain Dance, Ice Beam, Thunder and Blizzard to our Starmen. Let's show off our new synergy to dehumidifier. Thunder has 70% accuracy, but if used during the rain that goes up to 100%. Tom sets up the rain, but Thunder isn't quite a one-shot on the Pidgeot. We get the paralysis and can finish it off next turn with a Surf. Venusaur is next. We hit Blizzard, taking him to 2/3 health before being taken down with a Razor Leaf. Ringo's Psychic does the job in finishing the plant off. A Surf easily defeats the Rhyhorn, a couple of Psychics and a Swift for the Gyarados, a Surf for the Growlithe, and then a mixture of Surfs and Swifts for the Alakazam. With that battle done, I do some training in Victory Road, and I fill Tom up with all the sweets we found on the floor during our adventures, and now it's time for Lorelei. Tom sets up a rain dance against Dugong and brings her down with 2 Thunders. A massive critical hit Thunder takes down the Lapras, another Thunder takes out the Cloyster. Slowbro is annoying, with constant healing and amnesia. We get him down low, but he sends Tom to sleep, so we switch into Ringo to finish him off with a Surf. Lorelei's final Pokemon is Jinx, and Ringo takes her down with 3 more Surfs. Bruno's next. His Pokemon are weak to Water and Psychic. I hope we manage. Onix number 1 goes down to Tom's Surf. Hitmonchan takes a few Surfs after Bruno heals him. Hitmonlee brings Tom down low after we take him to half with a Surf. I switch into Ringo to finish the job. For some reason we go for a Surf instead of a Psychic, and then another one takes him out. Onix number 2 can't survive a Surf, and Machamp goes down to 2 Psychics. On to Agatha, whose Pokemon are all Poison type, so this should be Ringo's time to shine. Her first Gengar goes down to a single Psychic, Golbat goes the same way. Arbok manages to survive one and is finished off with a Swift. Gengar number 2 survives a Psychic and takes Ringo down with a super effective Stab Shadow Ball. Tom comes out and finishes the Gengar off with a Surf. Her final Pokemon is a Haunter. Tom does massive damage with a Surf, but it's not enough to knock the Haunter out. He's then put to sleep as Agatha heals the ghost. Haunter curses us and we start to take damage as we're asleep, but thankfully Tom wakes up and finishes the Haunter off. Time for Lance. We lead Tom, who sets up the rain and takes the Gyarados down in a single Thunder. 2 Blizzards take down the 2 Dragonairs. I go for Thunder against the Dragonite, which does shockingly little. Then I remember about the whole 4 times Ice Weakness bit, and a Blizzard finishes him off. Lance's final Pokemon, Aerodactyl, goes down to a Blizzard and a Surf. I'm glad I spent all that money on Ice Beam. Misty's made it to Dehumidifier, the new Pokemon champion. Let's do this. We set up our Rain Dance Thunder combo against Pidgeot and frustratingly don't take it down in one hit. He does massive damage to Tom with a critical Aerial Ace as Dehumidifier heals his bird. A couple of Surfs take him down. Arcanine is next, but he outspeeds and takes Tom down. Ringo is out, but Arcanine survives the Surf and wrecks him with a critical super effective bite. I think with some better luck we have this, so after a few more attempts we get this run. Pidgeot gets off 2 sand attacks as we bring it down low with a Rain Dance boosted Surf. I switch into Ringo to shake off the accuracy drops and finish the bird off with a Surf. Arcanine is out, and as the rain is still active, our Surf does more than enough to take it down. Venusaur is next. Ringo does just over half with a Psychic as he sets up a Solar Beam. Our second Psychic finishes the job. Tom does his tried and tested Rain Dance Thunder combo on the Gyarados again, getting the one shot. 2 more Surfs from Tom defeat the Alakazam. His final Pokemon is Rhydon. The rain is still active, so a 4 times super effective rain boosted Surf washes away the Pokemon champion. Misty's done it! I pause the timer when we're entered into the Hall of Fame, and Misty gets a real world time of 2 hours, 35 minutes and 20 seconds. I knew Misty's speedy special attackers would get a better time than Brock, but I didn't expect that big of a difference. Misty's Pokemon were able to complete the game and average 12 levels under Brock's, and an hour faster. Just goes to show if you're outspeeding your opponent and hitting them with strong special attacks, then you're gonna have a good time. I'll admit, it was a bit annoying doing a solo run for the first half of the challenge, but once Misty's team was complete and Psychic was in our arsenal, it was a dream. Thanks a lot for watching. Please join me next time when we'll be looking to paralyze and electrify our foes. See ya!